With the Nintendo Switch so close to the end of its life cycle, I had told myself I wasn't going to review any more accessories for the console. But this recent line of Pro controllers made by Binbok Play, I just couldn't ignore. Today I'm going to be taking a look at two Pro controller style gamepads made by Binbok that are arguably some of the best we've seen in terms of style and versatility. The first one I'm going to be taking a look at, and pretty much the main reason why I decided to make this video, is the Ultra Pro controller. Trust me, I know, definitely not the most original name, but this thing is crazy in terms of features. Opening up the box, it comes bundled with the gamepad itself, a really long USB Type-C cable, a 2.4 GHz dongle, 3 different analog stick caps, and some basic instructions. Now with this gamepad, you have 3 modes of connectivity. You can use it wired, use it through Bluetooth, or use the 2.4 GHz dongle and connect it that way. It's really nice to have that flexibility. And it's much more than just a Nintendo Switch Pro controller. It's also compatible with Windows, Steam Deck, iOS, and Android. You cycle through all the different modes of connectivity with this switch right here on the bottom. The overall layout is more of what you would see with a Xbox style or Nintendo Switch style controller, with the 4 face buttons, 2 analog sticks, and a directional pad. You also got your plus and minus button. The center button serves as a home button, as well as screenshot, and a button that changes the lighting effect. The D-pad is 8 directions, tactile, nice and clicky. It has a really good feel to it and would definitely be put to some good use for some fighting games. The face buttons are really interesting. They're actually mechanical with micro switches on the inside. You press them down, they make a really satisfying click and are extremely responsive in-game. The analog sticks are of really good quality also. They got a really nice drag to them, and swapping off the caps is as easy as just pulling it right off. The 2 other included caps are one that's slightly more elevated, perfect for first-person shooters, gives you that extra precision, and the other is this nub that kind of reminds me of the C-stick on the old GameCube gamepad. I took a real liking to the nub, gave me that nostalgic GameCube feel. As if those features weren't enough, over on the top of the controller, you have 2 Hall effect triggers, 2 mini tactile triggers, and 2 tactile shoulder buttons. Also the USB Type-C port for charging the controller or using it in wired mode. So you have the mechanical face buttons, the interchangeable analog sticks, the Hall effect triggers. You might be thinking, this is a pretty sick Pro controller, right? Well, it gets even better. Flipping the controller over on its backside, you have 2 programmable paddle style buttons. You have the on-off switch that activates the 6-axis aim assist mode. Some people really like to use the 6-axis for aiming. I'm not one of them, but this will allow you to use that for any game. Next, you have the on-off switch that activates the no dead zone mode. Flipping this switch on will eliminate the dead zone in both joysticks. And the last on-off switch activates the high sensitivity mode for the triggers. It puts that Hall effect into extra gear, and even the slightest touch will make your weapon fire. There's also a button that controls the sensitivity of the vibration, as well as a turbo button. I told you guys, this thing was a beast with those features. It's so beastly, in fact, that although it works great for the Nintendo Switch, this thing is the perfect companion for my Steam Deck. It's got some really solid weight to it, and the rubberized grip texture makes it really comfortable to hold for long periods of time. I've been trying to find the perfect gamepad to complement my Steam Deck, and I think I finally found the one. Up next, we're going to be taking a look at the Gemini, which is a more budget-friendly option compared to the Ultra Pro controller, but it's still really solid. Taking it out of the box, it comes with the controller itself, a set of instructions, and a USB Type-C cable for charging. The Gemini actually comes in 2 different colors, and while the black one is pretty sharp, I think that white one is much nicer. I also added these purple thumbstick covers that I had lying around. They're not included with the controller. Powering it on, the Gemini lights up with this really nice LED display. You can cycle through a bunch of different colors and a bunch of different modes. It has the overall same layout as the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. 4 face buttons, 2 analog sticks, and a directional pad, plus minus, home, and screenshot buttons. Over on the top, you have your 4 shoulder buttons and the USB Type-C port for charging and wired connectivity. Flipping it over, you have the 2 programmable paddle style buttons, a button to control the lights, and one to enable the turbo function. It also has this switch in the center that controls the intensity of the gamepad's vibration. It's got a premium build quality feel, and its buttons and D-pad feel outstanding. Almost as good as what you would feel on the official Nintendo Switch Pro controller. If I had to point out one weakness, it would be the analog sticks. They feel extra loose, but didn't seem to give me any issues in game. They were very responsive. It's got a 1000 milliamp hour battery in it that'll give you about 10 hours of playtime. Now, what it lacks in terms of features compared to the Ultra Pro controller, it makes up for by just being a really good, solid Pro controller for the Nintendo Switch and having one of the absolute best D-pads I've ever felt. I actually like this D-pad better than the official Pro controller. So this latest series of Pro controllers by Binbok, like I said earlier, I just couldn't ignore these. Both these controllers are pretty badass. Now, who exactly are these gamepads made for? I feel like if you're just looking for a Pro controller for the Nintendo Switch that's going to be reliable and give you a really solid performance, the Gemini would be perfect for you. But if you're looking for a Pro controller that has some next level type features and you plan on using it on a variety of different platforms, I highly recommend checking out the Ultra Pro controller. Whether you're using it to play on the Nintendo Switch, over on a PC, like me, using it as a companion for the Steam Deck, or even on mobile, you're going to get elite performance all around. If you guys are interested in either one of these gamepads, I'll put links in the description below. Until next time, this is Ness, signing out.